guys, welcome to today's video where I'm going to be doing the 2020 Get to Know Me tag. I was tagged by the lovely Daisy at Beautiful Life. I will have her, I'll put her channel up in a card and I'll link her down below. If you have not checked her out, she's an incredibly sweet girl. She does cleaning videos. She does a ton of DIYs and her DIYs are really, really good. She's just one of those people that has like a knack for decorating. So definitely check her out and thank you for tagging me. So this is a 20 question tag and I figured this would be a fun video to do, kind of give everybody a little bit of a distraction. Hopefully my answers aren't totally boring. We'll see. You be the judge. But anyhow, we're just gonna jump right in and answer these questions. Okay, number one, are you named after anyone? Yes, I am. Now, most of the people on this channel know me as Annie, and that is a nickname. Most people do call me Annie, even in my personal life, especially the kids. And I was actually named after this gal right here, Miss Anastasia Romanoff. That's my actual name. That's who I was named after. And in fact, it was my grandfather who picked out that name for me. Okay, 2. When was the last time you cried? It was a couple of days ago. I was listening to something. What was it? I don't remember what it was, but it was something where somebody made like a great, oh no, okay. It was a case where I'm still kind of on my true crime kick if you listen to my favorites video, and it was a woman whose best friend was murdered, and the police thought they knew who the perpetrator was, and it turned into a cold case years and years and years. And one night, this her best friend had a dream about her, and from that point on, she made it her mission to get the case solved and to bring some justice for her friend. And this woman went through, this woman was extensive when she did it. She actually became a private investigator in order to get access to certain things, just so she could solve the case. And just her fight to get things re-examined. This was like the early 90s. So cold cases were just starting to become a thing. And where she was in particular, they didn't have a cold case unit. And I mean, this woman, she just fought so hard for her friend. And it turns out the person who did it wasn't even who the cops initially suspected. So just hearing her story and, seeing somebody fight like that, I will say that I did get a little bit teary-eyed. Before that, like a good cry, I don't know, a month or two, I don't know. It's been a while though. Okay, number 3 is, do you have any kids? And if no, how many would you like? I have 2 kids. I have 2 boys. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. And boy, are they boys. I have 3 sisters. I have no brothers. So I'm used to just girls being in the house. So this is a bit of a different world for me. But yeah, I have 2 boys. Number 4 is, do you use sarcasm a lot? Don't we all? Don't we all? Yes. I mean, I think most of us use sarcasm. I don't know, it just comes naturally. Better a smartass than a dumbass. Okay, number 5, scary movie or happy endings? Can I get both, please? I like both. I have I have my opinions about scary movies, and I mean, some of them are well done, some of them are just fun, and then some of them, like, that's not scary, that's just gross, or that's not scary, that's just sad. You know what I mean? But I definitely do like both, and I do love final girls. I always have, always will. But yeah, definitely, if I could have a scary movie with a happy ending, which does not always happen, and especially nowadays, I feel like people are like, well, we can't have a happy ending. We can't. It's a horror movie. They did it. Wes Craven's done it. Come on. So yeah, I like both. What is my eye color? Clearly it's brown. Like the vast majority of the people on planet Earth, my eyes are brown. Number 7 is, do I have any pets? We have 2. We have our family dog, Zero. She's about 8 years old. She's starting to go gray. She is a border collie mix. She's a good dog. I would say the only qualm we have with her, one of the traits for the border collie breed is they like to herd. And this breed has been known to get hit by cars because they instinctually move toward larger objects to herd them. But she has the habit of driving in front of our cars when we're pulling in. Not when we're coming out, she immediately moves out of the way. But when I'm pulling into the yard, she follows us up and then she cuts across the front before I turn into my garage. So I always have to watch her for that. And it's a pain, really. But I know she's gonna do it, and I always pull in slow. But other than that, she's a fantastic dog. And then we also have a beta fish whose name is, and it's a mouthful, my son named him, Jake Rake Elvish J, our last name. That is his name. We usually call him Jake or Jake Rake. He's a red beta fish, he's male. Obviously, I'm calling him a him, and he's a happy little fish. We've had him for about a year. And he's doing good. He's nice and healthy. The kids love him. He's been in my videos in the background on my fireplace. So yeah, he's definitely a part of the family. Okay, number 8 is, where were you born? I was born in Southern California in a suburb of Los Angeles. I won't get too specific there. I just feel like for privacy reasons, it's probably not a good idea to say the city that I was born in. But basically, a suburb of Los Angeles, Southern California, lived here all my life, basically. Number 9 is, what's the furthest you have ever been from home? How would you gauge that? I guess like by flight hours is how I would gauge it, the longest direct flight that I've been on. And the longest for me was flying home from Rome, Italy, to LAX. And that was a 14-hour flight. And that's easily the longest I've been on. It was so long. But the good news is they fed us a lot on that flight. We got fed like maybe 8 times and the food was delicious. So that was good. But yeah, I would say I would say Rome would have been the furthest that we've been. We visited, when we were in Italy, we visited Rome and Venice. So that's the farthest distance-wise that I've been from home. And it was, both were very lovely. Number 10 is, how tall are you? I am average height for a woman. I am 5 feet 4 inches tall, so not very big, but not overtly small. I feel like I'm short, but I'm average height for a woman. So yeah, I'm average height. Number 11 is, what is your favorite drink, animal, and perfume? I'm gonna assume that this is referring to like cocktail. That's how I would take it, but I guess I could go, I'll tell you both, like non-alcoholic and alcoholic. My favorite drink, I'm gonna have to say it's a sea breeze, which is grapefruit juice, cranberry juice, and I think is it vodka? Yeah, it's vodka. It's just really refreshing. It's not sweet, but it's not sweet, but it's not dry. It's like the perfect combination. It's a great summer drink. So that's definitely like my favorite cocktail. And then my favorite just average Joe drink, I'm a huge fan of Arnold Palmer's. I will drink those 24/7 if I could. Lemonade and iced tea, there's just something about it. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then my favorite animal, I'm gonna say dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. I love going to dinosaur museums. If there's a stop that has a giant, like the dinosaurs at Cabazon, if you're heading toward Palm Springs, I love those. Dinosaurs on the brain, love, love, love. I know they're extinct, but they were technically animals, so those are my favorite. My favorite perfume. My favorite perfume is actually by Philosophy, and it's their Amazing Grace scent. It is a very soft, feminine, beautiful scent. It's really appropriate for any time of year and any time of day or night. Really any, I keep thinking of, I keep thinking of the Home Shopping Network guy from Bridget Jones's Diary, the really, like, the jerky, overly tan one. He's like, the one you could wear with anything, to any occasion. But that's that perfume, basically, and it's really, really good if you haven't tried it. Number 12. What sports do you play, or have you ever played? I don't play a single sport. I'm not a big sports person. I did play co-ed softball with my husband, my sister, and my brother-in-law, and some of their friends. I didn't really know anybody but my sister on the team. I didn't really enjoy it. I did it. But yeah, I'm not like really into like sports, like organized sports. I guess the closest thing that you could say that I do that I thoroughly, like 100% really, really enjoy is hiking. But yeah, any type of team activity that involves a ball or a bunch of people together doing stuff it's just not my thing. 13, favorite memory from childhood. How to pick one? I would say, well, I mean, like a couple. Who could pick just one? I mean, but okay. Anyhow. Just a couple of standouts that I really, really love from childhood is going bike riding with my dad and my sister. Disneyland and the beach, always a favorite. And then, you know what? I remember one night. It was kind of like, it's one of those nights that feels almost like a spell, you know that it doesn't happen very often, and like anything could break it, but while you're in it, it's just kind of like this weird but pleasant event. I don't know how else to describe it. But it was really late at night. It was summertime. My dad was playing his old records, and we were all in the living room on the floor with the lights off, and we were just listening to like classic rock, listening to like the Rolling Stones, Eric Clapton, and he was giving us all these background stories about the songs and stuff. And we were just all like kicking back on the floor listening to music, and it was just, I don't know, it was just like, I distinctly remember it strongly, and it was just kind of a neat experience, and just listening to my dad. And my dad is like one of those guys that has like stellar taste in music, and just, he's like a he's like a Rolling Stone critic. He just, the stuff that he liked and continues to like is all just really, really great music. And I guess he has the benefit of 45 years of listening to really, really great music and just sharing it with us. It was just really neat to hear him, talk about, oh, Mick Jagger wrote this song about such and such's wife, and just neat stuff like that. So I remember that, and that was a neat, fun memory for me. Number 14, are you an extrovert or an introvert? I'm definitely an introvert. I am not somebody who's gonna be, like the life of the party or anything like that. That's just not me. I'm much more low-key. I'm very quiet, except in my videos where I talk a lot. I'm one of those people who enjoys getting ready for a big event more than the event itself sometimes. But yeah, I'm not great at small talk, and I'm not somebody who just can like jump into a conversation with anybody. As I'm getting older, I'm finding that I'm a little bit more comfortable talking randomly to people in like the supermarket and stuff, which I would have never done when I was young. But like if I remember, like even on Halloween, I saw this lady. She was an older lady, and she was dressed up for Halloween, and I stopped and I was talking to her about it, and it was something that I didn't even think about, but like as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, oh hi, oh my gosh, I like your outfit. It shocked me because it's something that I wouldn't actually normally do, and it's definitely a case of me turning into my dad, because my dad does that. My dad's an introvert, doesn't like crowds, doesn't really like people. It sounds bad, but people just aren't his thing. And like we've been on vacations and stuff where we've been traveling as a family. him and like my sisters and our kids and stuff, and he'll just strike up conversations with anybody. And slowly but surely, I think I'm gonna turn into that. And I don't know if that's just the maturing brain as you get older. And I don't know if that's just something that happens to everybody as they get older. They get a little bit more, certainly get more self-assured as you get older. I found that to be the case with me. But just like randomly talking to people, it's just, and it shocks me when I do it, because it's just out of my nature, you know what I mean? But for the most part, yeah, definitely an introvert. And well, I don't mind crowds per se. Sometimes they can, if it's like really, really packed in, it can be a little bit overwhelming. But yeah, definitely for the most part, I'm an introvert and happy to be so. And glad for my extroverted husband. So sometimes he drags me into stuff that I'm not really comfortable with, but it's one of those cases of being pulled out of my comfort zone so I don't turn into a complete and total recluse. So it's good for me. And I think that's one of the reasons why our personalities fit so well together, because he's so extroverted and he talks a lot naturally. He's fantastic at small talk. It's insane to me to watch him. Just like, how did you pull that thought out of the thin air? Where my mind would go blank. So yeah, definitely an introvert, totally. Number 15, do you consider yourself a good cook? I would say so, yeah. I'm somebody who really, really enjoys cooking. I love trying new recipes. I love experimenting in the kitchen. My children are killing each other right now over a fan. But anyhow, definitely a really, really good cook. I wouldn't say that I'm like Julia Child level by any means, although I do love cooking her recipes. But yeah, I could ship a nod with the best of them. But yeah, for the most part, I'm a pretty good cook. I enjoy being in the kitchen. I can rock I can rock both cooking and baking. I love it. I love food, and I love like expressing myself through my food and expressing my feelings about the people I'm cooking for through my food as well. Because when you really want to express how much you love somebody, I don't know, your food just tastes better. You just put a little bit more heart into it, in my opinion. So yeah, I would say I'm a pretty good cook. Number 16, what is your favorite gadget? I'm not a big gadget person, really. I mean, I have my phone, as we all do, and I do look at it daily, but I'm not somebody who's like, I'm not one of those people that feels like, you know how people can feel like separation anxiety when their phone isn't with them. Like, it doesn't follow me into every room, but I don't always have it on me. And I use my computer, I watch TV, but I don't really think I have a favorite. Maybe my husband bought me a while back like a e-reader Kindle type thing. I don't think it was a Kindle. I don't even remember what it was. It broke, unfortunately, but it was really, really great for travel because it held like 20 or 30 books at a time. And if you've ever traveled extensively and like you're reading on a long flight or something, you know you're going to burn through that really quickly. So it's kind of convenient to have a bunch of books in one spot. So maybe that, but other than that, I don't really have like a favorite gadget thingy. It's not my jam. Number 17, what is your longest relationship thus far? I'm going to assume this refers to a romantic relationship. My longest relationship is the only one I've ever been in, and that is with my husband. My husband and I met and started dating in 2003. So what's that, like 17 years that we've been together? Yeah, and he's stuck with me basically, so, you know. Yeah, I would say that. And then other than that, I guess my longest relationship, I guess you could say like best friend. My best friend is my oldest sister, Kat, and so that would be like the day I was born, basically. So almost 40 years now. But if we're talking romance, it would definitely be obviously my husband, which is 17 years, and then my sister slash best friend slash soulmate. How old am I? 38 years. So there you go. Okay, number 18. What is your favorite thing for breakfast? I love bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs. In fact, it's such an odd thing to have, but like I've honestly thought of like your last meal, like your death row last meal, like is that odd? I don't know. Like who even thought, like if I were being put to death, what would I want to eat? With like no criminal background whatsoever. Mine would be a bacon and egg burrito and a can of Coke. That honestly, and it's so not healthy for you, but it's so delicious. Yeah. But yeah, definitely bacon and eggs is definitely my go-to favorite thing for breakfast. Number 19, what would you or have you named your children? I'm not really going to answer that one. I don't really say my children's names. In the early days, I might have said it, one or two of them a couple of times. But just especially as my oldest is in school and with the personality that he has and how gregarious he is, it just makes me feel better to keep particularly him private. I usually refer to them as by their initials, G and O. So yeah, I just don't feel comfortable answering that one. So I'm going to skip that one. And then number 20, the last question. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live? I would live in, I've answered this on another tag actually, but I would live on the Central California coast. I've been all over and California just always feels like home. And there's something, you know, particularly magical and beautiful about the Central Coast. If you've never been there, it's stunning. There's ocean on one side of PCH and then rolling green hills and vineyards on the other side of PCH. And it's magic. It's beautiful. It's insanely expensive to live there. My husband and I could probably afford a motorhome on the beach, maybe. But it's a really, really beautiful, quiet place. It's not as touristy as say like the Bay Area of California, or I mean, Southern California is just like inundated with people. So many people live here, and then so many people visit here for vacation. And some of those people stay for extended amounts of time. Particularly, we get a lot of people from Canada and other cold countries that come and visit here and pretty much stay here all winter. And so it gets really, really crowded. We have, you know, beaches, Disneyland, Universal, Hollywood, all kinds of stuff here. But the Central Coast, while we definitely get tourists up there, it's just a little bit quieter. And then I think too, the fact that the beaches tend to be a little bit colder, it's a little bit more subdued. But yeah, definitely Central California would be where I would want to go. Anyhow, okay, who am I going to tag time? Who do I want to tag? I will tag Brittany from Oh Me Oh Mom. I will tag Courtney from Mama Makes It Happen, and you there watching this video right now. If you want to do it, I tag you as well. I hope my answers were somewhat interesting and a little bit of a distraction for being cooped up inside and perhaps feeling a little bit anxious or concerned right now during this troubling time. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Daisy, for tagging me. I hope you guys are well and healthy and safe wherever you are. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.